Despite the obvious superiority of the Su-57 over all its predecessors, the currently relevant Su-35S still holds an interesting trump card: its export potential, which can significantly strengthen certain allies and, in turn, benefit us as well. Today, we will discuss this and some other less obvious aspects. The past couple of years have clearly demonstrated a trend to aircraft are rapidly taking key positions in the ranks of the Russian Aerospace Forces VKS. Naturally, these are the Su-34 and Su-57. The former, for obvious reasons, is a bomber that works tirelessly, the main carrier of precision-guided munitions, and so on. The latter, at the start of the conflict, was used sparingly due to its limited numbers, carefully showcasing the advantages of stealth technology. However, year by year, it has been assuming a leading role. Now the Su-57 is not only launching low-observable Kh-69 missiles, but also engaging in air combat and hunting Western air defense systems. This is undeniable, and the missions it performs can rightfully be called some of the most complex. At the same time, the role of the previously dominant VKS aircraft is rapidly declining, primarily the Su-30SM, followed by the Su-35S. This pair is now mostly tasked with escorting bombers and patrolling borders, but even here they are gradually being pushed aside by the Su-57. In the future, it will likely replace the MiG-31s as well, as we recently discussed, and by the 2030s-2035s, it will form the backbone of the VKS. Indirect confirmation of this is seen in aircraft deliveries. The absolute leader is the Su-34, followed by the Su-57. The Su-35S, though still being delivered, is noticeably less frequent. As for the Su-30SM, it is barely worth mentioning. Only one batch was delivered last year, and even that was a modernization of existing aircraft. The VKS is clearly focusing on key aircraft, meaning that sooner or later, orders for the Su-35S will dwindle to zero, just as happened with its predecessor. But should this really be the case? The answer is no, and the reason lies in its immense export potential, especially in relation to Iran. Here's why: Syria, as an ally, has ceased to play a significant role. In fact, it has become another problematic area where issues are still being resolved. While Russian forces remain there for now, the majority are being redeployed to other regions, such as Libya. Iran, however, cannot say the same and has likely withdrawn its contingent entirely. Meanwhile, Israel is concluding military operations and signing a peace treaty. Sooner or later, it will shift its focus to its longtime adversary, and a proxy conflict could escalate into a direct confrontation. There is clear evidence of this, but that is a topic for another time. So, what is Israel's main strength? Correct, its air force. No matter how you look at it, they have placed their baits on aviation. Iran, on the other hand, relies on drones and missiles, but not by choice. Its technological capabilities are limited. After all, building a powerful air force is far more complex than developing a variety of drones and missiles. Moreover, aircraft are a long-term investment, whereas missile stockpiles will eventually run out. And what then? Air defense plays a crucial role as well. Israel has demonstrated this time and again. This leads us to the following picture. We have an excellent four-plus generation fighter and an ally in desperate need of an air force upgrade. And Iran has plenty to upgrade. First, its air force is primarily composed of over 40 American F-14s, about half of which are still operational, perhaps slightly more. Credit must be given to the Iranians. They have managed to establish production of spare parts for these aircraft. However, there is one issue: they were all built in the 1970s. In second place is the MiG-29 in early modifications, numbering 36 units. These are in better combat condition due to an open supply of spare parts, but what can these aging MiGs do against modern F-16I and F-35I fighters? In long-range air combat, nothing. The stealth fighter will be detected only within a few dozen kilometers at best, whereas the MiG-29 can be spotted from over 100 kilometers away. The Su-35S solves this problem. At its root, its radar detects the F-35I from about 150 kilometers away, give or take. On top of that, it is armed with long-range R-37Me missiles, meaning that Iran could have a real chance of repelling a massive air attack provided it has enough aircraft, of course. Speaking of which, just recently, news emerged from the IRGC leadership confirming the start of Su-35SE deliveries to Iran. According to open sources, 4 aircraft have been delivered so far, the first ones arriving back in December last year. As previously expected, this batch comes from the cancelled Egyptian order, which originally included 24 aircraft. A good start. In conclusion, the Su-35S has numerous viable applications even if it becomes obsolete within the VKS. That said, this has not happened yet, and the full transition will take another 10 to 15 years until the 5th generation achieves numerical superiority.